In the age of wooden tennis rackets, I think pretty nearly everybody used to slice backhands. I mean, that was all most people could do with them. The slice shot is still a reasonable shot. You know, basically, particularly any sort of a high backhand slice, you can hit shots. You know, to keep your arm straight, you can hit slice balls which turn and fold and run out. In other words, if I've just pounded a ball into a right-handed person's backhand corner, I want the next ball to run out the other way, that would be the following shot. You can bend your elbow with a slice shot. In other words, I see people swinging a tennis racket sort of like a hatchet from the elbow. With the slice ball, it doesn't really matter. You're not trying to generate power. You're generating a shot which carries, which can be hit deep without a whole lot of effort. It can confuse people. But you're not really interested in power. If you're interested in power, then using the elbow is problematic. Well, from here, it's simple physics. From here to here on me is, 14, 15 pounds, right? I mean, any way that I ever try to hit a backhand using my elbow, like that, the ball's being hit with 14 pounds. From here to here is more like 35 or 40 pounds. If I can swing a tennis racket from the shoulder instead of the elbow, then the ball's being hit with 40 pounds instead of the 14. It's a much heavier blow. Now, that's one possibility. Another possibility for backhands is the standard one-handed backhand, which you see Roger Federer using and which Pete Sampras using. It starts off high and then comes down to hip level and then up to shoulder level to generate top spin, like this, here, and then here. That, I believe, is an inferior shot. I can't believe anybody would use it if they ever took the 30 minutes it takes to analyze the mechanics of it. It's absolutely one-for-one. The problem is that to move the racket head one foot, you're moving your arm one foot. It's like lifting the stone instead of using a lever. That's the second possibility. Third possibility, two-handed backhand, which you observe in professional tennis. It looks like this, here and here. And this actually does have a certain amount of leverage. In other words, you're trading a small amount of wrist motion for a much larger amount of racket head motion. But the shot involves contortionism. It's a difficult shot for most people to hit. I don't see any more than a few people who've ever looked comfortable hitting it. There's a problem with your hands getting in their own way, with your body basically just being bent against itself, and it'd be nearly impossible to hit on a dead run. Venus Williams looks comfortable hitting it. Murat Safin used to look comfortable hitting it. Andre Agassi looks comfortable hitting this shot. And I haven't really seen a whole lot of other people that do. You've got three basic shots, none of which really answers the mail, none of which anybody is really completely happy with. Particularly, you'll see Andy Roddick slicing a backhand with one hand on the racket and then using two hands to try to generate power. That says he's not really happy with either of the two shots. The fourth possibility looks like this. It's different. The fourth possibility says that I'm going to swing the racket around my body instead of up, right? And I'm not going to try to bring my arm straight. I'm going to start off with my arm straight. In other words, the shot will start from my left knee. Then I'm going to drag the heel of the racket forward a certain distance and then whip the racket through with my wrist. It looks like this. Okay, and you can see it actually has more leverage than the two-handed shot. In other words, I'm trading a certain amount. I'm trading just about this much wrist motion for racket head motion because from here all the way around the other side of my body is huge. The arm is already moving forward. The ball's being hit about here. In other words, I'm using the shoulder and the wrist. I'm not using the elbow. Again, if you're trying to generate power, then you really don't want to be using your elbow any more than you have to. I'm not using it at all. One more time. Here, step forward, here, and then through. Here, like that. That generates a murderously hard shot, which is fairly easy to control. You don't droop the racket at all. Keep the racket up here, bring the racket up to the ball, through, and then over. Like so.